So welcome everybody to today's Meet the Airline session. So we have our two special guests today. We have Kieran Pinder from British Airways and we have Jane Hoyes joining us from Qatar Airways. So today they're going to talk about the joint business venture between British Airways and Qatar. So there's lots of information. I've seen the slides, so do sit back and have a really good listen. So I'll just quickly talk to you about Faremine. Just about the fare types that we do have across both airlines. Okay, so I'm Angela Loftus. Sorry, I didn't even introduce myself. Right, okay, so the fare types that we have the seat only, the IT fares, the published, and also the NDC. So with British Airways, we do not have the IT fares, so I don't want you getting confused thinking that they will be on there. You may see them as part of a code share. Okay, which they will talk about later on. Now, with this month, so we're in May now, we do have a campaign running with the Qatar joint business venture with British Airways, and the May giveaway we have this month, we've got the usual vouchers up for grabs. So for any BA Qatar fares that are booked through Faremine, will go into the pot for the vouchers. Now, we always have winners on those. We do have a luxury Fortnum and Mason hamper to be won as well. So for one lucky winner, you will get a lovely hamper. So that will be very nice. I've been looking at them online. So yeah, good luck to everybody with that. So what I'll do, I'm just going to stop these slides now. I'll put the BA ones on. Do you want me to show them, Kieran?
Yes, please.
Yep. Okay, just bear with me. And here we go. Hopefully you should be able to see this screen. If any of you can't see the slides that we're sharing, we have put them in the chat. So if you can just pull them out of the chat, and hopefully you'll be able to see them on your screen one way or another. We do sometimes have this depending on what devices you're watching on. So yeah, I will hand you over to Kieran or Jane first. Which one?
Jane.
Jane, right.
Am I going first, Kieran?
Yes, please.
Fine. This is an interesting one because obviously doing this remotely in different parts of the country as well. But anyway, hi everybody. On behalf of Kieran and I, we can hopefully tell you a bit about the QJB, the Qatar joint business, which is between British Airways, Qatar Airways, and more recently Iberia have joined QJB. So hopefully at the end of this, you'll know a bit more about the joint services. Can I have the next slide, please, Angela? I feel like you know him, that Chris Whitty. During the COVID. Anyway, so let's talk about QJB. So moving further together, as I mentioned, we are now an expanded partnership. So originally it was British Airways and Qatar Airways joining, and more recently Iberia have joined QJB. So jointly we are now the world's largest joint business. So seamless travel, convenient connectivity at our state-of-the-art hubs. So London, Heathrow, Madrid, Barajas, and Doha Hamad International Airport in Qatar. We are award-winning, which we'll go more into as we proceed, and enhanced connectivity. So we are over 70 destinations beyond Doha. More than 100 destinations across the UK and Europe, up to 70 weekly flights operating between London and Doha, and up to 21 weekly flights between Madrid and Doha. So all feeding into these three hubs of London, Madrid and Doha and beyond. Just so you know, let me see what's coming up next. Yeah, I'll talk more about the we have also our regional services. So from the UK, in addition to our Heathrow operations, we also have flights on Qatar Airways, anyway, from Edinburgh, Manchester, Birmingham and Dublin. But obviously there are domestic flights on British Airways and some Iberia flights from those airports as well. So next slide, please. Yeah, so we mentioned the network connectivity. If you know where Doha is in the Middle East, it's geographically positioned to be a point sort of halfway or just under halfway between a lot of our destinations. We are generally going to all points east on the QJB, sort of south to South Africa and then all points east. But yeah, it's between the obviously the BA direct flights and the QR indirect via Doha, we can connect right across Europe, Africa, Middle East, Asia, Australia and New Zealand, and it really does open up the world. Gives a lot of choice for your customers. We mentioned about the products and services, so oh gosh, my printer's starting to make its own noise. Hopefully that won't distract us too much. But between us, we have got award-winning products, and we will talk individually about those as we move on. And we also have the ability to combine on our fares and our offers, so and our corporate dealings and agency deals as well. And of course, our loyalty and rewards. We do have the Avios as the common currency between all three airlines, and you can generally link your British Airways Club, your Qatar Airways Privilege Club can be linked together, and also you can interchange your Avios between the three airlines. So very, 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 very easy to work your customers' Avios between the two. So earn and burn on all the airlines. Next slide, please. So this is kind of the QJB, the QJB world. So as you can see in Europe, it covers I think we said over 100 destinations across the UK and Europe. Obviously very much British Airways country, and Iberia, and of Qatar obviously flying out of the UK. Then we go on to so it's either one stop via London and or Madrid and or Doha, but certainly you can fly up to, as I mentioned, 70 flights currently between well, over 100 flights actually a week between the UK and Doha, or direct. So this is the Burgundy is kind of the QJB areas where it's either Qatar or British Airways. Very recently added into QJB has been South Africa. South Africa joined in 2025. So that has opened up the British Airways twice daily flights from Heathrow to Joburg, Qatar Airways twice daily flights from Doha to Joburg, BA daily flight to Cape Town, Qatar Airways daily flight to Cape Town. So that has opened up massively. Qatar Airways also have a linked flight to Durban as well, but all comes within the QJB. So yeah, massive area. It's easier sometimes to say where we don't cover, but and that would be places like Mauritius and Seychelles, rather than go into where we do cover, but all the way down to Australia, New Zealand, all our destinations in Australia, your Vietnams, your Indonesias, your Indias, obviously within the Middle East. So yeah, massive coverage of the world with QJB. I mean, generally you guys tend to use us a lot. QJB works really well to places like the Maldives, to Bali, to Vietnam, Singapore, Australia, of course. So yeah, Hong Kong, massive coverage on QJB. So on to the next slide, please.
Okay, so this is about Ola Iberia. Just talking about how excited we are that Iberia are now part of the QJB as of December 2023 and offering you services over Madrid. Now, for UK departing passengers, this is this may not be classed as a big deal. But of course, when you have any customers originating travel in Europe, it does open up the QJB and its potential to its maximum. So we are offering you twice daily services from Madrid to Doha, and then connection onwards. Next slide, please.
Okay, we mentioned about that, the seamless connectivity through our hubs. The hubs being the Hamad International Airport in Doha, which I'll talk about. Hopefully Kieran can talk if her voice will hold out on Heathrow, but I can also add in on there. And of course, I know nothing about Madrid. Never been to Madrid, but again, hopefully, Kieran can touch on that. Yeah. So Hamad International Airport, 5-star hub. It says best airport in 21, 22, 24. Yes, we're waiting to see what's going to happen in 25. But yes, it has been over the last few years either the best or the second best. We tend to vie with Changi Airport in Singapore, and there are similarities between the airport, including, as you can see on there, that on the slide you can see the orchard, which is in the new part of the Hamad International Airport, which is the new North Plaza. And yeah, basically it's a zen-like garden called the Orchard, where you can wander around, and it really is nice to spend time between flights. The only problem you find, and it nearly happened to me the first time I went in the Orchard, was I was so chilled out I forgot I was at an airport and had a flight to catch, so I had to then run it and not be very zen-like and run to the next gate for my onward flight. But that area is an indoor tropical garden with water features, bird song, and over 300 trees and 25,000 plants. So it really is a really nice place to be. So that's in the North Plaza, which is near the C, D and E gates. But yes, Doha, Hamad also won the award for the best airport shopping. So you've got an amazing amount of shopping from it used to be called WH Smith's, it's now called All Day. So from All Day all the way up to Harrods and everything in between. So there's so much to do there. In fact, there are actually art installations within the airport, so you can actually do a tour around the airport, visiting all the different art installations. But it's all one terminal. It's just 4-5 concourses linked by a train down the middle, which can speedily get the customers through the airport. I mean, most of our passengers are transiting through Doha, and it is a very easy airport to transit through. So Kieran, over to you if you can manage Heathrow.
So Heathrow Terminal 5 is the home of British Airways. Of course, you have quick and easy facilities in there. Convenient access to the central area leading into central London. Digital connection kiosks at T5 offer a contactless experience. And of course, we have premium facilities available with a plethora of lounges, including the first wing experience, which was voted the best airport lounge. In 2022, the Concorde Room was voted the best airport lounge. At Madrid, Barajas Airport, you have, again, state-of-the-art terminal building, awarded the Skytrax award for design and functionality. You have, again, 2 lounges available at Madrid Airport, and connecting Madrid has been made into a hub for connecting transfers across worldwide destinations. Next slide, please.
Okay, so yeah, embark on an award-winning journey with Qatar Airways. Yeah, well, basically, I don't know if I mentioned all the awards, but yes, we are the world's best airline 2024 until they award a new one for 2025, which I think is normally in June. And we also have the world's best business class by Skytrax. So that is what you're seeing there, which is voted on the Q Suite. Q Suite, when it was launched, it was the first sort of one of the very first suites in business class. So with doors. What is really different perhaps about Q Suite is the quad concept. So you basically have single suites running down the window side, forward and rear facing, but in the middle is the quads. Now they can be four individual suites, or they can be opened up as like a double and a twin suite, or as for a family of four, it can be opened up fully, so you can dine around with a family, or if it's a business meeting as well, that works. But it's great for families where you can literally sit and dine face to face. We have a fabulous thing called Qverse on our website, which if you go onto it, I'll get the link to Angela at some point. You can pop it in the chat. But it is you can explore the Q Suite, so you can look at different elements of how the suites work with Sama, who is our virtual cabin crew, and she'll talk you through it all. It's pretty amazing, and it's always good to send it to customers as well, so they can see it for themselves. But yeah, generally across all our cabins, 6,000 entertainment options. It goes up. I'm sure it's almost 8,000 now. But if you go on to the ordinary, so you've got your Q Suite, and our Q Suite is generally on our 777s or selected 777s, or the A350-1000s and some of the A350-900s. We have a slightly different suite on the Dreamliner 900, which operates quite a lot of our UK to Doha services. That is all forward facing. It hasn't got the quad concept, but it has the sliding doors suite concept, and very similar to the British Airways suite actually. And then business class, this is our standard business class, all forward facing reversed herringbone, which you will find on the Dreamliners, the A380s, and the aircraft that aren't equipped with the Q Suite. But across our business class, dine on demand, a la carte menus, restaurant style, quality. You can eat what you want, when you want, obviously from the a la carte menu, in whatever order you want. Sleepwear from the White Company, amenity kits from Diptyque as well. And then in economy class, we have some of the well, again, you've got your same in-flight entertainment systems. You've got some really comfortable seating, state-of-the-art seating with well, if you go up to the new Dreamliners, the A350s, you've got all the technology there in the seat. I think it's on the Dreamliner 900, you can, and the A350, I think you've got Bluetooth as well, so you can put your own headphones on with that. Really nice meal services on the UK Doha, generally two meal services throughout the flight. Everything's complimentary, and everything's got a bar as well, and you get pillows and you get pillows, blankets, and on the overnight flights, amenity kits and economy as well. Next slide, please.
Okay, so let's talk about the premium journey on British Airways. So we have actually got 4 classes operating now on the London Doha sector. We have First, Club World, World Traveller Plus and World Traveller. I won't talk too much about First because it's not applicable on every flight, but in Club World, we've actually got 2 different types of club products for the interim whilst we are rolling out the new club suite. The Club Suite is going to get rolled out across the entire British Airways long-haul fleet, but this should be completed by the end of 2026. So let's talk about the Old Club World first. That is yin yang seating. I'm sure majority of you are familiar with the BA Old Club product, and we were one of the first airlines to have a flatbed out there when it was first introduced. So the config of the Old Club is 242 or 232, and then as I said, it's yin yang seating, so some seats are facing backwards and some are facing forwards. Going on, again, these are all flatbeds. Going on to the Club Suite, this is all forward facing. The config is 121 and all seats have aisle access. The new Club Suite actually has 40% more personal space and also comes with fully closing doors for full privacy. And when the bed is fully flat, it goes into 6'6" length. The bedding and the amenity kits on board are by the White Company. In World Travel Plus, we have a smaller cabin, more intimate, and then the configuration is 242. The biggest USP for World Traveller Plus is your baggage allowance. You're allowed 2 pieces of checked luggage at 23 kilos each. What I did forget to mention in Club World is you're allowed 2 pieces of checked luggage at 32 kilos each. And then on World Traveller, we have, again, configuration of 353. And then, no, it's 343, sorry about that. We have some seats towards the tail end of the aircraft where the config goes to 242. Again, throughout all the cabins, you have entertainment available. You also have stylish cabins, and everything on the long-haul aircraft is complimentary: food, beverages, the lot. Moving on to the next slide, please. With Iberia, we have 2 cabin services on all their long-haul service. We have business class and economy. Again, in business, like every other airline, we have a flatbed available to you with in-flight entertainment available as well, noise cancelling headsets. And the menu on board will definitely have a Spanish flavour to it. Again, in the business cabin, you have a duvet, large pillows, amenity kits provided as well. In economy cabin, again, you have the latest TV and film releases, touch screens. Free messaging is available both on British Airways and on Iberia for either club members or Iberia Plus members. And everything on board, again, is complimentary. All food and beverages, whether it is alcohol or soft drinks, are all fully complimentary. Next slide, please.
Okay, so over to our lounges. Qatar Airways lounges. Well, we have a beautiful lounge at in Heathrow in our Terminal 4 lounge, which is the I think it's called the Premium Lounge. And and that is for both, there's 2 levels in it actually. It's for our business class customers and also the higher tier card holders as well, of obviously Qatar and our One World partners. In Doha, we have our Al Safwa First Class Lounge, which is pretty stunning. It's almost walking through a museum. There's some really interesting art pieces in the lounge. And then we have the Al Morjan Business Lounge, which is over 2 levels with well, it looks like a massive swimming pool in there, but it's actually a water feature. But you have got the option of a la carte and buffet dining in the lounge, and they can even do little takeaway boxes if you so require that as well. But yeah, the lounges, we've also got the new lounge in the new part, the north plaza of the airport in Doha, which is the Al Morjan, the Gardens airport, in the Orchard area. So yeah, really first class style lounges. There are shower facilities, and in the Al Safwa there are bedrooms on a first come first served basis, and in the Al Morjan there are rest areas as well, and as well as shower areas. So Kiran?
Yeah. So at Heathrow, Terminal 5, we have 3 lounges available. We have the Concorde Lounge or Concorde Room for our first class passengers. In this particular lounge, you have a waiter service, meal services, and we also have private cabanas that can be booked on the day. So if your customer wanted some privacy, wanted to rest, and wanted their own little space, you can secure one of the cabanas. It has a day bed in it, and it has a ensuite facilities as well. The other lounges that we have are the first lounge. Now, the first lounge is connected to the first wing. So again, as the name suggests, it can be used by the first class passengers or your gold or equivalent One World frequent flyer members. The first lounge is an experience all of its own. Again, it has buffet style or a la carte menu available. You can also order food with a QR code, and it would be delivered to your table. You have also the Galleries Club lounges at Terminal 5. These can be accessed by your first class, gold card or silver card or business class passengers. With all British Airways lounges, you have to either be traveling in the eligible cabin or be a silver or gold card or equivalent One World card holder to be able to access them. You cannot pay to get in. Once you're in the lounges, everything is complimentary. In all the lounges, you have dedicated workspaces, relaxation zones, and in the first and club lounges, we also have a children's play area, a dedicated children's play area. So Airways lounges. At Madrid, we have 2 Iberia lounges, the Velázquez and the Dali premium lounges. Again, you have to be eligible to be traveling in the appropriate cabin or the appropriate card holder to be able to access them. Everything in both those lounges is complimentary again, and they are beautiful lounges overlooking the runways, so you have great views. Next slide, please.
Okay, so combined fares that suit your budget. You can now combine both BA and Qatar Airways published prime fares and and some tour operator fares as well, on both 125 and 157 ticket stock. So the example here is outbound flying Heathrow, Singapore, on BA, and inbound on Qatar Airways. Should we go on to the next slide, Kieran, to go more into that?
Okay, so this shows you a little bit more of how the QJB offers you more choice.
The session thing you're just talking about.
Sorry. We before the QJB, we had 2 flights a day, London to Singapore. Qatar Airways had would be able to offer you 3 services a day over Doha. Now, with the combined schedule, we're now able to offer you 6 services a day to Singapore. And this is replicated to other destinations as well. Obviously, BA don't have direct services to many of the destinations in the Far East, but with the QJB, you now have choice and more schedule. Next slide, please.
Okay, so we mentioned earlier about the Avios being our common currency on our frequent flyer programs. So you've got Qatar Airways Privilege Club, British Airways Club, and Club Iberia Plus. They have a greater flexibility now and more choice on how they earn and redeem their Avios. So you can literally link accounts. You can move your Avios between the different accounts, and it's kind of, as we've mentioned a few times about things like lounge access, they are recognised across each other's the status is recognised across each other's tier levels. So yeah, you can link them, and there are lots of and you can burn them as well. So you can we see a lot of say British Airways Club customers flying on Qatar Airways services using their miles. So yeah, and I think, you know, because everyone's on Avios, it is such a much easier system. So you can decide which card you're going to put on your customer's booking. You can select either to go on there if they happen to have both cards. If not, the Qatar Airways will recognise a BA card holder, for example, as being a gold card holder, as being a One World Emerald status passenger, and they will get the added benefits like free seating and things like that. So next slide. Okay, Discover Qatar. So Discover Qatar is our DMC own part of Qatar Airways, but they are specifically there to promote destination Qatar. So whether you're actually flying on Qatar Airways or on British Airways or Iberia via Doha, you've got the option of the stopover package. Now stopovers are generally 1 to 4 nights, and the stopovers they start from $14 per night per person, basically. I think, is it per person? I think it's per person per night. Or is it per hotel? I think it's per person. So yeah, these are offered by Discover Qatar, and you can add on to that. That is the sort of the leading category, but you do have premium hotels on top of that, luxury hotels, and luxury hotels with beach access as well. So lots of different options. You can add on transfers and everything else. There's also mention there about transit tours. Transit tours for travellers with over 4 hours layover. Now the 4 hours really would be what they is the art tour or the virtual golf session and squash, which are actually at the airport. If you've got 6 hours or more, then you can go into Doha, and you can go and visit parts of Doha itself. So that is all bookable via Discover Qatar. Just so you know, it just discover visiting Qatar as itself. So if you're flying in on BA to Doha, flying in on Qatar Airways to Doha, even Iberia into Doha, it is one of the safest cities in the world. Very easy to get around, very good value compared with our other Middle East competitors, but you've got 97 shopping malls there. You've got some of the top hotels, the St. Regis, the Ned, Raffles, Waldorf Astoria, and all very, very good value. And not only in you've got Doha, you've got the cruise port now, so a lot of the for example, Celestial Cruises are home porting in Doha currently, as are some MSC cruises. And yeah, you've got lots of different options to actually spend time in Qatar. Highly recommended, actually. I always make a point of, when I'm going long haul, stopping in Qatar on the way back. In fact, I'm going off to Bali this weekend, and I'm stopping in Qatar on the way out and on the way back, because I do like it so much. It's really, it's a nice, and the weather now this time of year is very, very pleasant. It is an all year round destination. Can get a bit hot in summer, but anyway, that's Doha. So next slide, please, Angela.
Okay, so if you're flying over Madrid, or your customers are flying over Madrid, they offer a Discover Madrid package. This is so you can extend your stay between 1 to 6 nights in the capital. And like the Discover Doha packages, these can be booked. So you could, if you were transiting over Madrid in both directions and you wanted to have a little stopover, you could split it 3 nights in one direction, 3 nights on the way back. You know, your imagination is what comes into play here. You can stop over as long as you want or as little as you want, and it can be booked via that link for you. And I think the last slide, please. Thank you. So that's the end of our presentation. I hope you found that useful. Any questions? Nobody?
Any questions, anybody? Just if anybody is looking at the chat, Jane has kindly shared the virtual tour. Is that of the Q Suite, is it?
It takes you onto the homepage of Summer, our virtual cabin crew. If you go to the right side, you will see a navigation page, and you can choose your aircraft. You can choose whether you want to look at the lounges, the airport. So it covers virtually everything.
Right, brilliant. Okay, so if anybody can't see that, if you drop me an email afterwards, and I can share the link as well for that. So thank you very much, Kieran and Jane, for that. I just wanted to make a point about the Air Miles cards. You are able to accrue the points on the Faremine system. I know some of you do book via your own GDS, some use the portal, some call Res. But just so you know, if you are booking a British Airways flight, but you have the Qatar, is it the Avios? Is it the you
Privilege Club,
the privilege? Yeah, you can mix and match. So I think it's brilliant that you can do that, and that's the same with Iberia as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop sharing these slides now, and just very, very quickly show you what one of the routes that they talked about. So the direct London to Singapore coming back via Doha, just so you can see what that does look like. Just bear with me. Right, okay, can you all see that fine? So what I've done, I've popped in to the journey builder, British Airways, Qatar, and it's brought up the fares here. And just so you can see, this is what it would look like. So you would see, sorry, Kieran, you've just popped up on my screen there. So you're outbound, you've got London, oh, let's see. Let's see. So that one's going via Doha. So what you do, you just go to the outbound, and if you just go send your first one direct, and here we go. Well, you can see, so London, Singapore, direct with BA, and down here on the inbound, you're going Singapore, Doha, Doha back to London Heathrow, and it does tell you here that it is operated by Qatar Airways. So yes, and any information you want on the flight, you can just click on information there and it should bring that up. So that will tell you the aircraft, so the Boeing 777, so, and the A359 on the way back from Singapore to Doha. So that's the information, that's where you would find that on the Faremine website. So if anyone does want a refresher on the Faremine website, I do hold separate sessions for those, lunch and learn sessions. So if anybody is interested, please do let me know. Right, okay, so I'll stop sharing that. And
Can I just add in there, Angela, just so people understand that example that Angela just showed, that is using, obviously British Airways is the outbound carrier, so BA will be the ticketing carrier. So the baggage allowance shown throughout the whole journey is the BA baggage allowance, the piece concept. Qatar Airways work on the weight concept. So if it was the other way around, then it would go on to the Qatar Airways baggage allowance.
Yeah,
just thought I'd mention that.
No, thank you for that, Jane. Yes, thank you. Right, so a quick Q&A then. Has anybody got any questions whatsoever for Kieran or Jane? Anyone? This is unusual to see we've got so many people on. Normally we get lots
either everyone's asleep or it was so boring they can't wait to get off.
Jane, Jane Walsh is asking, is it possible to have your email address, as she has a QQ regarding a particular booking, a question regarding.
Thank you, Claire.
Oh, Claire, thank you.
Oh, there we go.
We will send the slides out afterwards, and if anybody would like a copy of the recording as well, just so if you've got staff that you want to share it with that couldn't make it today, then we can do that, no problem. So I will send that out as standard to you all anyway afterwards. So lots of info, lots of info there, guys. So remember, just when you book lots of BA Qatar this month, and then you'll all be in the draw for this lovely Fortnum and Mason hamper that we've got up for grabs as well. Love the look of the airport garden. My client said it was amazing. Oh, that's nice to know, Claire. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Yeah, perfect.
Let's see, we've got a couple more messages in the chat.
A massive thank you to everybody for joining, taking the time out from your day. I know you all are real busy, so really appreciate everything that you're doing, and also thank you for all your support.
Right, so we do have a question, Sharon. Are you planning any aircraft visits to the Q suite? Maybe that's a conversation we need to have offline between us guys and see if it's
whereabouts
we can arrange.
What airport is that from? Do we know? I mean, there are some. They are doing occasional ones at Heathrow.
Heathrow, yes.
Heathrow. Okay, drop me a note, and I'll see when the next Heathrow ones are. We can perhaps. My colleagues has been doing those. So yeah. But they do get it's good to see it. But like I say, if you go onto that virtual one as well, it's near enough. But yeah, it's a good thing to see the Heathrow setup anyway, for sure.
Yeah, Brilliant, thank you for that. Just a couple more questions coming up by the looks of it. Oh, she's super, thank you very much. And that will be lovely. So, right, thanks again, everybody, for your time. We do appreciate it. It's lunchtime. We do find it's normally better at lunchtime because people tend to be having a break. So hopefully you've managed to feed yourselves and watch and learn at the same time. If you do think of any questions afterwards, please just drop me an email and I can liaise with Kieran and Jane. And just once again want to thank Kieran and Jane for your time as well and for all that information. It's fantastic, and it's why we do these sessions, so it can just bridge that gap between the agents and the airlines as well. So thank you very much. I will stop the recording now.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Lovely.
take care, everybody. Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.